This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 22nd day of April in the year 2026. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting. Now here's what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana Police Force today announced that a total of 12 Guyanese nationals were deported from the U.S. to Guyana yesterday. The police said the 12 persons were interviewed and profiled by the relevant authorities. While 10 of them were released after their interviews, 2 were taken into police custody. According to a statement from the police, a 42-year-old man whose address is currently unknown and a 35-year-old man of no fixed address were kept in custody in relation to the offenses of murder and domestic violence, for which they were deported. The police did not offer details on the offenses committed by the 2 and the time that they might have served in the U.S. for their crimes. Similarly, no details were provided on the reasons for deportation for the other 12 persons. The U.S. government has been stepping up its deportation of illegal immigrants and foreign nationals caught up in criminal activities in the U.S. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. It can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Dead the horse with Bowser.
This is your time.
Yeah, but we didn't get all we needed last Christmas, and now we can.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Let's renovate our home and purchase appliances.
And plan a trip with the kids.
Or buy a new car.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza. Same day approvals. Apply in person or safely online. Plus a chance to win lots of prizes. This is your time to get what you need. Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Right now in Guyana, the future is being built and it starts in the classroom. ExxonMobil Guyana is investing $100 million over the next 10 years to expand STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, giving more young Guyanese the tools to succeed in a rapidly growing economy. With the establishment of the first National STEM Center at the University of Guyana, the $100 million initiative is expected to enhance the nation's education system. The impact is clear. Modern classrooms, empowered educators, and a generation of problem solvers ready to lead Guyana forward. Since oil production started offshore, oil and gas companies have been investing in the long-term development of Guyana. To learn more about how the energy sector is helping build Guyana's future, visit www.oilnow.gy for updates.
Hey Linden, it's your girl, the Caribbean soca queen, Allison Hines, and I will be there for Linden Town week. Cause you know what happened there, right? Big people party, of course. Big woman still got she things. You don't know how we do. April 30th. So I am excited. I cannot wait. The next day is a holiday, so you already know how we can get on, right? You know how we can get on for big people party. Big woman still got she things. The Caribbean queen of soca, Linden. I am excited. Bring your things.
Advance tickets are $5,000. Get your tickets at World Access Top-Up Shop on Republic Avenue, Mackenzie, Barnes Staxi in Mackenzie, Shemade's Bar in the Mackenzie Market, R&T Clothing World in the Mackenzie Market, Shabba Hardware at 1 Mile Wisma, and Go Mosley Radio on Church Street in Georgetown. The Linden Town Week Big People Party 2026 with Allison Hines, compliments of Banks Beer, XM Rums, GT Beer, drink responsibly, One Communications, Church's Chicken, Sheriff Security, 592 Tees, Star Party Rentals, Fireside Grill, and Go Mosley Radio.
History doesn't wait. For the 8th time, Guyana stands on the world stage. One fighter carries a nation behind him. One challenger stands in his way. One ring. One world title. 800,000 standing as one. This is more than a fight. This is Guyana. Don't miss this moment. Get your tickets now.
The Caribbean Public Health Agency's 70th Annual Health Research Conference opened this morning here in Guyana, with the Executive Director, Lisa Indar, telling the hundreds of regional and international leaders gathered and health experts that health innovation is no longer optional, but essential. With the world still reeling from the devastating impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, even as it grapples with new and emerging infections, Indar said health innovations are critical to prevent, detect, and treat diseases and deliver healthcare services.
Today, in the world of rapid digital transformation, reducing funding landscapes, geopolitical shifts, and rising infodemic, we now stand at a threshold of a new era. One where health innovation is not optional, but essential. We are now in a world where technology, digital solutions, scientific breakthroughs, and local ingenuity are critical for transforming how we prevent disease, deliver health care, protect populations, and save lives and livelihoods. Innovations is redefining health, from AI-powered systems that can detect outbreaks before they spread, to rapid genomic sequencing that helps us understand and respond to emerging threats.
Adding that telemedicine and mobilized clinics are helping governments to provide healthcare services to underserved and hard-to-reach communities, Indar said technological innovations are helping to reduce disparities, increase access, and strengthen the resilience of healthcare systems. Indar also said the Caribbean is not merely adopting innovations, but creating it. And CARPHA remains at the forefront of advancing a suite of cross-cutting Caribbean-tailored innovations that are built for the readiness and the realities of the region. PAHO WHO Assistant Director Dr. Rhonda Seeley Thomas, in her address, applauded CARPHA for advancing scientific health research in the region for decades, noting that scientific research saves lives and improves the health and well-being of populations and strengthens economies.
In today's rapidly evolving health landscape, health research is the engine that drives innovation, transforming lives into practical solutions that improve prevention, diagnosis, treatment, and health systems performance.
Dr. Seeley Thomas said PAHO remains committed to advancing research as an essential public health function, one that drives the discovery of cures for diseases and the development of safe and effective diagnostic tests, vaccines, and public health innovations. President Irfan Ali, in his address, said here in Guyana, the country is increasingly integrating technology into the healthcare system to advance treatment and care.
Today, in Guyana, we've embraced telemedicine because of our geographic layout. And we've already seen great success. We have seen lives saved. We have seen need for medical evacuation reduced. And we have seen greater support by specialist staff to others in hinterland and remote areas. I think per capita, we may have the highest telemedicine reach, maybe globally, but definitely in this region. And we are ready to deploy this investment for the rest of the region. We are ready to partner with the rest of the region in creating a telemedicine hub here in Guyana to support the rest of the region, whether it's for clinical care, research, or educational purposes.
And the Secretary General of CARICOM, Dr. Carla Barnett, said the focus on innovations in health as a deliberate strategy to safeguard the future builds on the 2011 vision of heads of government of CARICOM, when the decision was made to establish CARPHA. While recognizing the sterling work done by CARPHA to date, the CARICOM Secretary General spoke also of the need for a more inclusive approach to research.
We need more researchers who understand public policy, data analytics, and ethical governance, and who are ready to make the paradigm shift required to accelerate our collective actions. We must ensure an inclusive approach that involves our people in their communities. If our people do not trust innovation, they will not adopt it. Our research must stay relevant, speak to the needs of the mothers in a rural or remote village as clearly as it does to a scientist in a laboratory.
The annual Health Research Conference has brought together more than 500 participants from over 20 countries, including the US, Canada, Guyana, Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, the Cayman Islands, Belize, St. Lucia, and the United Kingdom. As part of the conference, there will be a high-level ministerial panel with health ministers from across the region, who will discuss the critical link between research, innovation, and policy in shaping resilient systems. While U.S. Ambassador to Guyana Nicole Theriot today said Guyana Government Permanent Secretary May Thomas, who was sanctioned alongside Guyanese billionaires Nazar and Azruddin Mohammed, is still under U.S. sanctions. Sanctioned by the U.S. Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control back in 2024, May Thomas was accused of corrupt practices, including using her position as permanent secretary to manipulate processes to favor the Mohammeds. She was sent on administrative leave by the Guyana government after the sanctions were handed down. While Ambassador Theriot confirmed to reporters that May Thomas remains under U.S. sanctions, she said that she is not aware that the U.S. government has provided the Guyanese government with information on the alleged acts of corruption allegedly committed by May Thomas.
I'm not aware of that. Typically when an investigation is ongoing, and of course the Mohammeds are still going through the extradition request process, we wouldn't share information with the public because it's still an ongoing.
Months after May Thomas was sanctioned alongside the Mohammeds, Attorney General Anil Nandlal said the U.S. Justice Department had provided the government of Guyana with information on the alleged crimes committed by the trio, which led to them being sanctioned. However, while the state had pursued a number of criminal charges against the Mohammeds, who are now facing an extradition hearing, the government has been silent on the serious allegations made against May Thomas. Meanwhile, in the matter involving former Guyana Police Force Commander Him Not Saw, the U.S. ambassador said the embattled police officer and the other 3 Guyanese who were named by OFAC in 2025 also remain under U.S. sanctions.
So for our part in the United States, the OFAC sanctions remain. They're not going anywhere. I think there is still other investigations ongoing, potentially on the criminal level, but I don't have any updates on that. Sorry.
Saul was the commander for the police division in Region 1 when 4.4 tons of cocaine was discovered buried in bunkers in the Northwest District in September 2024. He was named alongside Mark Cromwell, also known as Demon, Paul Davey, and Randolph Duncan, along with 2 Colombian nationals. Last month, the Minister of Home Affairs, Onish Walren, told reporters that Saul was still on administrative leave, and the investigation into his alleged involvement in an international drug ring was still ongoing. Ambassador Theriot said to her knowledge the U.S. has not submitted extradition requests to the governments of Guyana in the case of May Thomas or the embattled policeman.
No, those haven't come through the embassy. If that were something that would come through the embassy, which would be a normal process, we have not received it.
The extradition request in the case of the Mohammeds remains in effect, and the matter is currently before the courts. Secretary General of the Caribbean Community CARICOM, Dr. Carla Barnett, this morning declined to comment on the controversy surrounding her reappointment and whether she is prepared to step down amid the increasing pressure from Trinidad and Tobago. Dr. Barnett was reappointed in February during the 50th regular meeting of the CARICOM Conference of Heads of Government in St. Kitts and Nevis. Since then, however, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala Persad-Bissessor, while casting aspersions on the entire reappointment process, has claimed that her country was locked out of the decision-making process. Last week, the Prime Minister of Jamaica floated the idea of CARICOM meeting to discuss the issue. Approached by the media at an event this morning, Dr. Barnett opted to remain silent and walked away.
There have been concerns about your reappointment. Any comments on that, Ambassador? Excuse me?
While President Irfan Ali has backed the reappointment and has stated that the proper process was followed, the Trinidadian Prime Minister, Persad-Bissessor, has dubbed the reappointment as surreptitious, corrupt and flawed, adding that the CARICOM Secretariat under its current leadership was dysfunctional, dishonest and incompetent. In response to growing criticism by Persad-Bissessor of the process used to reappoint Dr. Barnett, the current chairman of CARICOM and Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, provided an outline of the events that unfolded in the lead-up to and subsequent to the reappointment of Dr. Barnett. Prime Minister Drew maintains that established protocols were followed, but explained that the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago departed St. Kitts and Nevis on the first day of the conference, ahead of the retreat, and an invitation extended to her Foreign Minister Sean Sobers was in effect turned down. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has stated that the foreign minister was blocked from attending the meeting, as he was told that it was specifically for heads of government only. It was during that retreat that the heads of government present took a decision to reappoint the Secretary General under Article 24 of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas. Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala Persad-Bissessor, has said that while her country remains committed to CARICOM, her government will not recognize Barnett as the Secretary General after August, when her first term in office officially ends.
GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by June 30, 2026 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. It is the civic duty and legal responsibility of all Guyanese who meet the eligibility criteria to apply for registration. By so doing, you will be ensuring that you are issued a national identification card and be included in the official list of electors for future elections, provided you meet all eligibility criteria. This registration exercise will end on May 29, 2026. You need to apply for a transfer if you now live at a different address than the one you were registered at. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
on a new date, Sunday 26th of April. Team Extra presents its annual Creek Explosion, performing live from Jamaica, Javinci. Granny Ivy and JJ Vibes. Music by DJ Bobby Kush, DJ Papa Feelings, DJ Magnum, DJ Garwin, David Hype, and Janus. Girls Dance-Off Competition first prize, $50,000. Second prize, $30,000. And third prize, $20,000. At Aziza, Akusa, Creek, Outside, Splashman's on a new date, Sunday 26th of April. Early birds, ticket $3,000. Tickets location, White Castle Fish Shop, Fireside Suites, Just Your Size Boutique, HJ Box Office, Short Boss Boutique, and Team Extra Stabrook Market. Compliments of Fireside, Grill and Chill, Extra Ginger Ale, and Czar Lager Beer. Be a leader.
Dead the horse with Bowser.
This is your time.
Yeah, but we didn't get all we needed last Christmas, and now we can.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Let's renovate our home and purchase appliances.
And plan a trip with the kids.
Or buy a new car.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza. Same day approvals. Apply in person or safely online. Plus a chance to win lots of prizes. This is your time to get what you need. Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
This Mother's Day, treat those special ladies to something extra special. Father Moe and Determined Family Enterprise presents RWB, Roses, Wine and Brunch. Join us on Sunday, May 10th at the BV Ground Tarmac, East Coast, Demerara. Gates open from 3 p.m. for an unforgettable afternoon of great food, fine wine, and amazing vibes. Enjoy entertainment by Super Ray. DJ Aquilo, Father Moe, Gully Ras, Papa, and Mikey Spice. Plus, over $600,000 in giveaways. Early bird admission just $4,000. Or go elevated VIP for $12,000. RWB, Roses, Wine, and Brunch. Sunday, May 10th at the BV Ground Tarmac. Celebrate those special ladies the way they deserve. Compliments of Barefoot Wine, Hennessy, Heineken, Tropical Rhythm, ENET, Always, Pro Graphics, Caviar Coley, 94.1 Boom FM, Moet, and Fireside Grill and Chill.
Ice the cocoa tea, the sugar, and together we are complete, darling.
Please drink responsibly.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
The Chancellor of the University of Guyana, Sir Ronald Saunders, has announced that the University Council has received 27 applications for the position of Vice Chancellor and Principal. In a statement, the university said the applications follow an extensive and widely circulated international search conducted by a council-appointed search committee, which invited submissions up to the closing date of April 18. The committee will now proceed to the next stage of the process, involving the review of applications and the shortlisting of candidates. The current Vice Chancellor's tenure will conclude in July of this year. The Chancellor confirmed that the search committee is applying the same procedures that were used in the selection of the present Vice Chancellor, ensuring continuity, fairness, and adherence to established standards of governance. Sir Ronald noted that the university is operating within a national context of profound transformation. He said Guyana is undergoing one of the most dynamic periods of economic growth and structural change in the Caribbean and Latin America, with expansion in energy production, infrastructure, modernization, economic diversification, and increasing global engagement. He added that the Council is seeking a transformational academic leader who can position the university as a center of research, excellence, professional training, and regional influence in a rapidly evolving economy. The Chancellor has advised that the Council is committed to transparency in the process and will keep the public informed of key developments. After facing intense questioning by judges of the Caribbean Court of Justice on whether it was proper for him to publicly comment on the case involving the Mohammeds, Attorney General Anil Nandlal has said he will exercise restraint in commenting on the case, in line with a caution issued by CCJ President Justice Winston Anderson. In closing yesterday's proceedings, Justice Anderson said, while lawyers have a right to free speech, they also have a responsibility not to comment on court cases. He said making statements about the case, especially outside of the court, has the potential to undermine the fairness of the proceedings or public confidence in the process. He asked that there be restraint in public commentary by all sides. Speaking during his weekly Issues in the News program last evening, the Attorney General Anil Nandlal said he will adhere to the caution issued.
The court also, before it concluded its sitting, issued an admonition against all counsels from all sides that restraint should be exercised in relation to commentary in respect of the matter. So in due adherence to that admonition, I will exercise that restraint.
Mr. Nandlal has been using his Tuesday television program to comment on the case. He has suggested that the case will fall flat before the Caribbean Court of Justice, since many of the arguments which were advanced by the Mohammeds were already canvassed in local courts. While not singling out Mr. Nandlal, Justice Anderson said he hoped that the attorneys will not comment publicly on the case, since they are aware of the long-established protocol in public commentary on cases before the courts. Mr. Nandlal's public comments were also featured in the arguments made by the Mohammeds, as they sought to advance their case of bias before the Caribbean Court of Justice. They noted that Mr. Nandlal and his colleagues have repeatedly called the Mohammeds criminals, frauds, sanctioned man, and other names. Nonetheless, Mr. Nandlal said he is looking forward to the conclusion of the case.
The court, through the President, Justice Anderson, did acknowledge that extradition is a process that requires dispatch, and that the court will take that into account.
The Caribbean Court of Justice has reserved its decision and has promised to rule on the matter as soon as practicable. Republic Bank Guyana Limited and UNICEF Guyana have joined hands in a $50,000 partnership agreement to advance adolescent mental health and psychosocial well-being across Guyana. The collaboration comes as mental health challenges among adolescents continue to rise globally and across the region. In Guyana, suicide remains a major public health concern, with the country consistently recorded among those with the highest suicide rates in the region. The program, to be implemented in collaboration with the Ministries of Health and Education, will focus on strengthening adolescent mental health and well-being through a multi-pronged approach, including community-based mental health response, stigma reduction campaigns, strengthening school-based psychosocial support systems, and capacity building for teachers. It will also include the issuing of disability identification cards to children and adolescents with disabilities in Region 2, in partnership with the National Commission on Disabilities. The Managing Director of Republic Bank Guyana Limited, Dr. Toussaint Boyce, noted Republic Bank's commitment to national well-being beyond financial services.
Today we formally launched this important adolescent mental health initiative in partnership with UNICEF and our valued stakeholders. It marks the beginning of a meaningful partnership and a shared commitment to strengthening the mental health and well-being of our young people across Guyana. Yes, you can clap for that. At Republic Bank, through our Power to Make a Difference program, we are deeply committed to initiatives like this that create a lasting and positive impact.
Meanwhile, Javier Cordoba, who serves as a UNICEF representative for Guyana and Suriname, said mental health is fundamental to a child's development, and too often it is overlooked or misunderstood.
Today's signing represents far more than an agreement. It reflects a shared commitment to ensure that every child and young person is supported, heard, and empowered to thrive. In Guyana, as in many other countries across the world, adolescence is a time of immense opportunity, but also vulnerability. Young people today are facing a wide range of complex challenges, from academic pressure and social expectations to family stress, loneliness, bullying, uncertainty about the future, and the growing influence of digital spaces, all of which can sometimes become a heavy burden for them. Across the Caribbean, we know that too many adolescents struggle in silence. Stigma, limited services, and lack of awareness often prevent them from seeking help. In Guyana, strengthening systems that support adolescents' mental health is therefore not just important, it is also very urgent.
A joint statement from Republic Bank Guyana and UNICEF Guyana said the partnership reflects a shared commitment to building a more resilient, inclusive, and supportive society where children and adolescents can thrive emotionally, socially, and mentally. On the police blotter tonight, 4 men who are suspected to have carried out a daring robbery on Tuesday night at the Zesty Burger fast food outlet in Betavawacting were nabbed by the police this morning. The robbery took place just before 9 p.m. on Tuesday as the business owners were locking up the outlet. The 4 robbers arrived on 2 motorcycles and carried out their attacks. A police statement said 2 of the suspects were masked, with one being armed with a knife while the other was armed with a handgun. According to the police, one of the workers at the business place was shoved to the ground and relieved of his phone, while the business owner was held at knife point and relieved of $400,000 in cash. The suspects escaped via the railway embankment, but acting on intelligence, ranks from the police division 4C and 4A conducted an early morning operation this morning at a Robb Street location here in Georgetown, where 3 suspects were arrested. The 3 have been identified as 22-year-old Antonio Atwell, 21-year-old Joseph Tay, and 25-year-old Terrence Phil. A search of the premises led to the discovery of 2 XR motorcycles, one bearing registration number CS 1130 and the other without a number plate. The police said they also recovered 2 suspected unlicensed 9mm pistols, a black Taurus pistol without a visible serial number, and the silver and black Smith & Wesson bearing serial number BZT 5107. Each weapon was found with a magazine and 9 matching rounds of ammunition, along with an additional 4 magazines. Investigators also found a black knife encasing, 2 kitchen knives, a Samsung cell phone, and $122,000 in Guyanese currency, along with $5 US. The police said the items are suspected to be linked to the robbery. The 4th suspect was arrested at his home. He is reportedly 19 years old. The police did not release his name. The police are also processing the suspects after they were found to be connected to other recent robberies. Linden Town Week 2026 has just gotten bigger. Join Go Mosley Entertainment on Thursday, the 30th of April at the Retrieve Hard Court in Linden for Big Woman Still Gotcha Things, the official Linden Town Week Big People Party. And for the first time in Linden, live on stage, the Queen of Soca, Alison Hines. Plus 3 one-man bands and the one-woman band. Advance tickets are $5,000. Get your tickets at World Access Top-Up Shop on Republic Avenue, Mackenzie, Barnes Taxi in Mackenzie, Shemaine's Bar in the Mackenzie Market, R&T Clothing World in the Mackenzie Market, Shabba Hardware at 1 Mile Wisma, and Go Mosley Radio on Church Street in Georgetown. The Linden Town Week Big People Party 2026 with Alison Hines. Compliments of Banks Beer, XM Rums, GT Beer, drink responsibly, One Communications, Church's Chicken, Sheriff Security, 592 Tees, Star Party Rentals, Fireside Grill, and Go Mosley Radio.
Kick off this summer in style with Pink and Bougie. Experience the Eldorado Pink and Bougie Soca Brunch Gala on June 21st at Ivory on the Park Rooftop, Brooklyn, New York. Tickets are $75 each and include an all-you-can-eat premium buffet, plus a live performance by Denise Belfort. Music by DJ Messi from Trinidad and Tobago, DJ Neville, DJ Energy, DJ Roddy, and DJ Princess Chow. Get your tickets now from Eventbrite or Caribbean Bites Restaurant, 488 East 98th Street, Brooklyn. Vibing from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. on June 21st at the Eldorado Pink and Bougie Soca Brunch. Good food, great music, and unforgettable energy. Dress pink and bougie. This is where summer begins.
Welcome to Churches New Amsterdam.
20 years of churches, chickies, you and us, and there is nothing missing. So many friends and strangers pass through our doors, and they always come back for more. Feel the love. Guyana, the love keeps growing, and we thankful for the support you are showing. There's so many locations and much more to come. It's gratitude and celebration. Can you feel the love? 20 years of churches, chickies, you and us, and there is nothing missing. So many friends and strangers pass through our doors, and they always come back for more. Feel the love.
Guyana, up your cash! Over 100 winners! More than $2.5 million in cash and prizes up for grabs. Win cash every week. Plus a chance to up your cash to $500,000. And that's not all. Win back your grocery bill up to $20,000 cash every week. Just grab any Buster Turbo Energy Drink, Fruitopia, Oasis Flavored Water, Fruita, or Viva Sparkling Flavored Water. Look for the code starting with BB, then visit at Buster Guyana on Facebook or Instagram for details. Up your cash today.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guy Oil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guy Oil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guy Oil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future.
Feel spice power in every sip.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has released the names of more than 24 individuals following its recent blacklisting of 3 international organizations as terrorist groups. In a gazetted order published in the media today, the Attorney General also ordered the Financial Intelligence Unit to immediately circulate the list of names to financial institutions and listed businesses in keeping with the crackdown. Following 2 High Court rulings under the Anti-Terrorism Act, the Supreme Court has directed that copies of the orders be served on the FIU without delay, ensuring enforcement of updated anti-terrorism listings across the financial system. The directions were issued on April 16, 2026, in chambers in 2 separate matters before Justice Margaret Mohammed and Justice Marcia Caesar. In both cases, the court ordered that updated listings be reflected in the FIU's consolidated register and distributed to banks and other regulated entities required to monitor transactions against designated lists. A Salvadorian court on Tuesday began a collective trial of 486 alleged gang members, one of the biggest mass trials under the president's crackdown on gang violence through controversial emergency powers. Prosecutors say the charges against alleged members of the MS-13 gang span more than 47,000 crimes committed between 2012 and 2022, including a weekend that was El Salvador's bloodiest since its civil war. The charges include homicide, femicide, extortion, and arms trafficking. Under the state of emergency that took effect in 2022 and has been repeatedly renewed, security forces have detained more than 91,500 people, and Congress passed a decree allowing for mass trials. Human rights groups have warned that the collective prosecutions violate due process and block defendants from accessing legal counsel. The Inter-American Commission on Human Rights on Tuesday reiterated concerns over human rights violations through the long-extended state of emergency and called for an end to its use as crime-fighting strategy. And finally tonight, international news. Iran seized 2 ships in the Strait of Hormuz on Wednesday, tightening its grip on the strategic waterway after U.S. President Donald Trump called off attacks with no sign of peace talks restarting, according to Reuters. Trump maintained the U.S. Navy blockade of Iran's trade by sea, and Iran's parliament speaker and top negotiator said a full ceasefire only made sense if it was lifted. Reopening the strait was impossible with such a flagrant breach of the ceasefire, he said. Iran's semi-official Tasnim news agency earlier said the Revolutionary Guards had seized 2 vessels for maritime violations and escorted them to Iranian shores. It was the first time Iran has seized ships since the war began at the end of February. The Revolutionary Guards also warned that any disruption to order and safety in the strait would be considered a red line, Tasnim said. Trump said on social media late on Tuesday that the U.S. had agreed to a request by Pakistani mediators to hold attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal, and discussions are concluded one way or the other. A source briefed on the matter confirmed on Wednesday that Trump had not set a timeline for the extension of the ceasefire. In a show of defiance, Iran showcased some of its ballistic weapons at a parade in Tehran on Tuesday evening, with images on state TV showing large crowds waving Iranian flags and a banner in the background with a fist choking off the strait. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.